Vaishali madam, please begin.
Okay, sir. Hello, good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining today's webinar. Today, Applied Sciences and Humanities Department have organized a webinar on Success is Made of Grit. I, Vaishali Nathwani, would like to introduce today's guest speaker, Priya Arora. She empowers people and organizations to perform at their best. Her work includes coaching young leaders, advising on people and organizational development programs, and corporate trainings. She is an internationally certified soft skill trainer and personality development coach. She mentors people and helps them transform their professional and personal lives by training them in techniques and tools for better communication, confidence building, interpersonal skills, body language, styling, vocal and verbal techniques, etiquette, goal setting, leader skills, and public speaking. She believes in being a lifelong learner, as that is the sure short way to grow. It's a privilege to welcome you here, ma'am, on this platform.
Thanks a lot, Vaishali. That was quite a bit that you said. I'm so happy to come back to university and meet students.
Yes,
It is
great.
always very enriching for the speakers and panelists also, because we get to learn so much from students these days.
Yes.
New ideas come up. There's a new energy that comes whenever you meet students. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.
And you can start with the session, ma'am, now. Yes.
Sure. So, the topic for today is success is made of grit. I'll repeat, success is made of grit. Now, what is grit? Grit, grit. Grit is, I'll give you the definition in the dictionary. Grit is courage and determination despite difficulty. The important part here is courage and determination despite difficulty. Sitting at home and thinking that I could be very courageous, I'm so determined, will not really get you anywhere. But when you are in a difficult situation and you're still able to maintain that level of courage, strength, and determination, that is when grit comes in. That's exactly the meaning of grit. You have to go for an interview or you have a very important presentation and you're severely unwell. What do you do that day? Do you just sit back at home? Or do you still try and find an alternate way and make sure that the presentation happens, that the project is submitted, that the report is completed? That is why only 2% people in the world are able to succeed. Yes, only 2% people in the world are able to succeed. And why is that? Because these are the people who take leaves on a rainy day. These are the people who sit back at home and think, koi baat nahi, kal ho jayega, aaj tabiyat theek nahi hai. But it is only that little gap, that 2% in the entire population that becomes successful. Only 2% people become successful because only 2% people are able to have enough grit in their life, enough courage and determination despite difficult situations in their life. I'll give you a definition that I have created for the word grit. Grit, grit. G stands for giving, R stands for resilience, I stands for intention, and T stands for trust. I repeat, GRIT, grit. Giving, resilience, intention, and trust. The experience that I have, the case studies that I have studied of various successful people across the planet has rendered this definition to me. This is the conclusion I have drawn from various books I have read and various people I've interviewed. G for giving, giving thanks, having gratitude, giving what you want to get in return, giving the right messages, sharing the knowledge that you have, giving out goodness, giving out positive messaging, positive affirmations into the universe. All of this is giving. When you give unbiased help to somebody, I said unbiased help to somebody, that help will come back to you in some or the other way. You know, it might not come from the same person, but it'll definitely return to you in one way or the other. When you are in a difficult situation and you make a decision that you will stand and get through, you will prove your grit in that difficult situation. That is when giving out goodness comes back to you. You know, if you give out the right messages, the right affirmations into the universe, it'll start working for you. What is the universe? It is just energy. People around you, what do they do to you? What do people around you do to you? They make circles of energy around you. Everyone you meet, there's something that you feel when you meet people. It is actually nothing but the energy that they give out, the messaging that they're giving out from their words, from their thoughts, from their body language. So, giving out the right messaging, keeping a positive tone, keeping positive affirmations in the mind and in the heart, and giving it out to the universe. That is what you will receive back in return. So, giving out the right messaging is very important to being successful. You know, a lot of people do self talk wherein they try and blame themselves, wherein they feel guilty of doing something, wherein they are unsure and they are doubtful as to what will happen. I am walking a path, but I don't know if I'll get there. I am doing this, but I don't know if it'll work out. I am not sure if this is right or wrong. Should I even do this? Do I even want to do this? Am I even enjoying it? You know, all of these doubts, all these questions, all this negative self talk, what does it do to you? It takes you far and far and far from success. So, you know, once you step into something, give, you know, even if you come into your office, or tomorrow if you get a job, you know, right after you pass out university, you get into a job, you walk into your office, give a lot of energy, a lot of positive affirmations to that space, and that space will start giving it back to you. This is nature's law. You know, it is not something that somebody has said or today I'm saying. No, this is a very tried and tested process. You give what you want to get. The other way around is you get what you give. So you have to be very mindful. What is the self-talk that you're doing? What is it that you're thinking when you're sitting alone? That is what matters. You know, we all have a lot of good things to talk about when we meet people. When we're in a group, we would always want to say better stuff, say nice things about ourselves, about people around us. But what is it that you are thinking about when you're sitting alone? What is your self contemplation? What is your self talk? That is what matters. Because, you know, the whole day, the mind is working. There are so many thoughts, millions of thoughts coming to the mind every day. Now, what are these thoughts? If these thoughts are positive, if these thoughts are full of courage, full of strength and determination, they will ensure that you get to where you want to get. But if these thoughts are weak, if these thoughts are negative in nature, if these thoughts are full of self doubt, they will not let you get anywhere. Thus, in the word grit, GRIT, the first alphabet G stands for giving, and giving thanks to the universe, giving out good energy, giving out positive affirmations is so important in life that you will see a major change in yourself. You will see that your luck is improving because you're keeping positive inside. You're giving out positivity outside, and it'll begin to work for you. So, giving, begin to give, and you will begin to get. I repeat, begin to give, and you will begin to get. So, if you want to get good results, if you want to get to be a successful person, if you want to get good relationships, if you want to get good people in your life, if you want to get genuine help from people in life, give it. Start giving it today. Because if you start giving it today, you will soon begin to receive it. So start giving. This is your first step to being successful. You know the word grit, GRIT. I am going to repeat this word at least 100 times in the next 45 minutes. Why? Because I want this word to be grilled into your mind. Because a lot of us are continuously faced with difficult situations wherein we feel that we are part of a struggle, wherein we feel stressed at times, wherein we feel that we want to give up now. It's enough. I can't do it anymore. Remember you feel like that. Exactly at those situations, at those timings, you have to remind yourself of this very word, that is grit. I repeat, grit is courage and determination despite being in a difficult situation. So remind yourself, just write it somewhere. Write it in bold letters on the wall of your room or in front of your study table. Write it, look at it. The more you see it, the more it'll get into you. So giving, believe in giving and you will start getting. Moving on, the next alphabet that we have is R. If I had to choose one value to have within me, it would be resilience. Yes, R for resilience. Resilience is an amazing skill that helps us recover quickly from difficulties. If you are resilient, you have an innate ability to keep getting up. Every time things go wrong in life, you will be able to get up, and you will be able to get up and be stronger than ever before if you have resilience in you. So resilience is a key skill. Grit. And the second alphabet that we're talking about is resilience. Think about it. Think about it. Just close your eyes for 2 moments and think about it. A very difficult situation that you overcame with your own grit, with your own resilience, and you emerged out to be much stronger. How do you feel? Do you feel better? Do you feel stronger now after thinking about that situation? The more you practice resilience in less difficult situations, the more you will be able to be resilient in difficult situations. Today, if you're faced with something small, try and be resilient. Tomorrow, when something bigger comes up, when there's a bigger difficulty in life, your level of resilience will go up automatically. It's a natural process. Like children grow, that's how resilience grows naturally. So, you have to learn the skill of bouncing back and keep going. Because for someone to be successful, they get knocked down at least 100 times in life. When people face failure, there are higher chances that they would be successful. And why? Why am I saying that? Because, there may be 1,000 ways to fail, but there will be one way to succeed. And to find that one way might take some time. But if you found out 200 ways to fail, at least you know what not to do. You would have in mind 200 things that you don't need to do. You should not do in case you want to succeed. So failure plays a key role. People who rise above failure, people who rise above difficult situations are great inspirations for the world. Because, when success comes after major failures, after overcoming major difficulties, that is real success. And people know the value of it. So resilience, my friends, is so important. I want to really focus on this because resilience as a skill helps you to recover quickly from difficulties. Also, resilience it's great when we're talking about it right now. But I really also want to leave you with some ways to be more resilient. How to be more resilient? Think about it. How to get that willingness, that determination within you. It's not a spark that you can light with a matchstick. You will have to consciously work towards it. You will have to think about it each and every day, I think multiple times in a day. It is so important. I would suggest 5 things that you should keep in mind in order to be more resilient in life, in order to get out of difficult situations, grow out of difficult situations quickly. What is the way? 5 things, The first would be self-awareness, knowing exactly who you are, what you want, what is it that you have in mind, where is it that you want to get. Self-awareness is the first step to living a good life, let alone being successful. But self-awareness is the first step, my friends, to living a good life. If you want to lead a life wherein you're happy, wherein you make good memories, wherein you build nice relationships, strong relationships, wherein you build big companies, big organizations, some of you dream of it. Self-awareness is the point where you need to start from. Starting from self-awareness, knowing who am I right now? What is it that I want to do? How do I get there? What is it that I need to inculcate in myself? What are some of the important habits that I should have? That is self-awareness. Where do I stand in life right now? It's so important to know where you stand. In order to be grounded, in order to lead a practical life, you have to know where you stand. And only you can judge it. There's nobody else who can really help you to judge where you stand in life right now. You will have to take some time, sit in silence, think about it, and you will get those answers from within you. They're all inside. It's there inside you, inside each one of us. It's just that we need to give ourselves some time to sit back, to think. So first step towards being more resilient is having a higher level of self-awareness. The second thing is mindfulness. Mindfulness is so beautiful. When you're mindful, you're more prone to observing things around you. You're more aware. You know what you're doing and why you're doing it. You're in the moment. So, self-awareness is awareness of the inside, and mindfulness is the practice of this self-awareness. Everything that you do in life, whether it is going and buying groceries or studying or cleaning your bookshelf or getting ready for an occasion, getting all dressed up for an occasion, everything, every little and big activity that you do in life needs to be done mindfully to make sure that that activity is done properly. There are times when this happens. You open the almirah or you open the fridge and you don't remember what you want to get out of it. Why did you open it? You just forget. It slips out of your mind. These are times when your mind is actually lost in doing something else. The body is somewhere else, thinking of something totally different, and you're all haywire. You're all messed up. In such situations, if you can bring in mindfulness within yourself, you will be more present in the moment. You will be more spontaneous. And when you are present in the moment, people connect better with you. A lot of times it is said networking is so important. In fact, we teach networking to our students. We teach networking to young professionals. Why do we teach that? Because finally, the world is made up of people. The world is made up of people's energies. And for people's energies to resonate with your energy, will need mindfulness. If you're mindful, people will be able to connect better with you. And when people connect better with you, the relationships are stronger, they last longer. And these long-term relationships, if seen in the light of business, career, finance, growth, have a long-term impact. For example, today, you make a great relationship with your course mates. Tomorrow, one of them ends up at Unilever, the other one ends up at Reliance, some other person ends up at a huge startup that's doing really well, but you have great relations with them. They might prefer you. So everything starts from the energy that you have. Like I said, mindfulness is the key to making positive relationships with people. Mindfulness also ensures that you make the least amount of mistakes. And when you make the least amount of mistakes, you fail less. And when you fail less, what happens is you gain more confidence. It's easy, right? When you don't fail, you, as it is, gain more confidence. But if you fail and then you get up, there's completely a different level of confidence that you gain. So both ways, whether you fail or you don't fail, mindfulness plays a major role. Third thing, my friends, is self-care. Caring for yourself. These days, self-love is the talk of the town. What is self-love? What is self-care? It's not just using cosmetics. It is not just doing a spa. It is not just getting ready. No. Self-care has a lot to do with caring for your mind, caring for your own energy, trying not to do things that hamper your growth, that hamper the peace in your mind. That is self-care. If you're in a happy state and you want to continue being in that happy state, self-care plays a major role. Because then, if you care for yourself, you will not indulge with people or indulge in situations that pull you down from that positive, high level of energy. And these people who are aware of themselves, who are mindful of what they're doing, who care for their own energy, who have the understanding of self-care, they're more resilient. Why are they more resilient? Because they are more centered. When you think before you speak and you think before you do anything, you're more centered, you're more grounded. And by centered, my friends, I mean centered, the energies are centered. The energies are in your control. You're firm and strong before you do something. You're not all over the place. You're not messed up. You're there, exactly on point. And when you're exactly on point, you're more powerful. You feel more powerful, you become more resilient. Fourth thing is positive relationships. Yesterday I was in a coaching session and I came across a client. And we had this conversation wherein we were talking about why contacts are more important and why business comes with contacts and how networking is important. All of that we were discussing. That is exactly the time when I said that, building a contact is far more important than closing a contract. What I mean is that if you're able to build a good relationship with somebody, don't worry about closing deals. Don't worry about getting jobs. Don't worry about closing a particular contract. No, it'll happen. This is a byproduct. It's not the main product. This is the byproduct of having a good network, of having good relationships, of having positive relationships. And your self-awareness, your level of mindfulness, your care for the self will eventually lead you to be more satisfied, more happy, and make your relationships more positive. I repeat, 4 things that make you more resilient. I actually call them the pillars of being resilient: self-awareness, mindfulness, self-care, and the 4th is positive relationships. There's another thing, and that is purpose. The 5th thing is purpose. Until your purpose is strong enough, you can't even get out of bed every day. You'll feel lazy. Your time will just pass away, let alone being resilient. To be able to do something in the normal course of life, you still need a goal, you need a purpose, you need a reason. Now, when you're expected to do this, despite being in a difficult situation, what do you need? You need more resilience. And purpose definitely has a major bearing on how resilient you are. Giving you an example here. So, if you have a parent at home who's very unwell and needs to be rushed to the hospital, suddenly in your body, you feel a rush. Your speed goes up. You drive on the road, you drive so fast. It is so risky, but still, you drive so fast and you don't meet with an accident. Why? Because your purpose at that time is so clear. You want to get from your house to the hospital in the shortest possible span of time. And you're so resilient at that point. I need to make this happen. I need to save my parent. My parent needs a doctor right now. That purpose makes you so resilient. So, in life, in general, also, if you want to achieve anything, if you want to inculcate a good habit inside you, you need purpose, you need reason. Nothing moves without having a purpose. Trust me. Even if someone's talking to you, there is a purpose. Everything that's happening on the planet has a purpose attached. And if you make your purpose very strong, your chances of being successful are very high. The stronger the purpose, the more resilient you will be. And the more resilient you are, you will find it very easy to get up and grow out of difficult situations. So the 5 pillars of resilience that you need to bring into your life right now. Start today, start now. Take the first step and be consistent. These 5 pillars are self-awareness, mindfulness, self-care, positive relations, and purpose. You might just want to write this down. It is so important. We started from GRIT, G-R-I-T. We discussed the full form that we've given to GRIT. That is G for giving, R for resilience, I for intention, and T for trust. And coming to the second alphabet, that is R, we started discussing about resilience. And now we're talking about 5 pillars of resilience. I'll repeat the 5 pillars again just for you. It is self-awareness, mindfulness, self-care, positive relationships, and purpose. Pick up these things, practice them every day, and you will be more resilient. Your chances of being successful will be much higher. Your path towards success will become far more clear. So rather than letting failure overcome and drain you, don't let failure overcome you. Don't let failure drain your energy. Find a way to rise from the ashes. That is resilience. Resilience is the determination to find a way to rise from the ashes. Because difficult situations will come. There is no way you can avoid difficulties in life. That is why I said that, if I only had one strength to choose, I would choose resilience. Because resilience is the shock absorber for tough times. When you lose all the money that you had, when you're under debt, when you're without a job, when the house bills need to be paid, when you have failed in your exams, when you have failed in a couple of interviews, when you're not able to get a job, those are the difficult times. Resilience will absorb the shock that you get in life. And there surely will be tough times. Occasionally, yes. Tough times are a part and parcel of life. You cannot ignore them. You cannot avoid them. They will come. The only people who don't experience bumpy waters, you know who they are? They're people who are not doing anything. Are you someone who's not doing anything? Are you someone who does not want to get anywhere in life? No. You have a dream. I'm sure you do. You want to be successful. You want to be much bigger than who you are today. So, my friend, in life, there will be a lot of difficulties. Be ready. There will be bumpy waters, and you will sail through because you will work on your resilience skill. The rest of us, who are really trying to do outsized things, trying to achieve big things. So, that willingness or that desire of wanting to achieve something big in life comes with a lot of danger and a real possibility of failure. It's very easy to switch on the fan, but do you think it's easy to ride a plane? No, it is not. So, a lot of people who don't plan to ride a plane or who don't have the desire to fly an aircraft will not fail at it. Only those who have the desire to fly an aircraft will fail at it. So, the rest of us who are trying to do really big things in life, who are trying to literally achieve the outsized, by definition, we are fraught with danger and the very real possibility of failure. Failure will happen. Sometimes that failure is public, sometimes it is private. But either way, it hurts. It hurts to fail. But you know what hurts more? What hurts more after a failure? What hurts more after a failure is that you're in the same place. You're still in that failed situation. You don't get up and you don't go out again and try it again. That is the real failure. Falling is not failure. Falling and not being able to get up, that's real failure. And resilience is there to absorb all these shocks for you. Build that resilience within you. Use the 5 pillars I've shared today. And then, whether you're hurt because of failure, but if you have resilience, you will get up. You will be stronger. And you'll go out again, do it again, probably fail one more time, get up one more time, be more stronger, and be successful then. Right? Because there's only one way to be successful in any particular task that you've chosen. All the other ways are ways of being failed. So that's okay. But if you really want to increase the chances of success in your life, what you have to do is start giving, be more resilient, give out the right messaging, be more determined. Yeah. I love Angela Duckworth's book called Grit. And her thesis is really powerful. No matter our backgrounds or educational institutions or families or our upbringing, only one thing truly determines our success or failure in this life. And what is it? It is the ability to finish. I repeat, no matter where you're coming from, what your background is, what you're educated in, who are your family members, or how you were brought up, does not matter. The only thing that really matters in life, or the only thing that truly determines your success or failure in life, is the ability to finish. If you're able to finish what you've started, trust me, you are successful. So, today, if you're attending this webinar and you begin on the journey to bring in more resilience within you, to start giving out positive affirmations from today onwards, and you consistently keep doing it, you finish the process, you walk the path and reach the destination. That is success. Always tell yourself, replace your negative self-talk with this. Tell yourself, or remind yourself, you already know, but remind yourself that, if something has to be done, you are the right person who can get it done. Or in fact, you're the only person who can get it done. This sentence, this reminder to yourself will give you instant resilience. Remind yourself that, if this needs to be done right now, I am the right person to do it. And I'm probably the only person who can get this done. So let me be on it. Let me do this again. Learn from your failure, get up stronger, move on, try again. You might fail again, but again, repeat the process of learning, getting up, and trying again. And you will soon hit the successful chord. Moving on to the third alphabet in the word grit, that is Grit. We are now talking about the alphabet I. And I stands for intention. Every successful person in history mastered the power of intentions. Intentions are so important. When it comes down to it, follow these 3 steps. I'll give you these 3 steps. Decide what you want in life and decide it so clearly. Decide it so clearly that you can visualize. You can literally see yourself in that situation, on that stage, working in that office, having that designation. You should be able to see yourself. You should be able to visualize yourself. Decide it so clearly. Decide what you want in life and be so specific about it. Know it very clearly. And be clear on why you want what you want. Having a purpose is so important. Answering the why is so important. If you don't answer the why, you'll never really get to your goals. So, decide what you want and clearly talk to yourself. Understand within yourself why you want it. Be clear on why you want your goals. And when you have done these 2 things of deciding what you want and understanding why you want it, start visualizing your success. Start visualizing that, I am there. I am flying that plane. I am living in that apartment. I am meeting those people. I am probably on that seat. I am wearing that designations badge. Start visualizing. The more you visualize, the clearer your vision becomes, the stronger your purpose is, and you never forget it. When you never forget your purpose, you'll never take time to stand up from a failure. It is only when we forget our purpose that we find it difficult to stand up and overcome our failures. the fourth and the final thing to do after you have given out the right messaging, after you are being very resilient and are overcoming difficult situations very quickly, and you're keeping the right intentions, your vision is clear. The last thing that you need to do is have trust. Have trust in yourself, have trust in your skills, have trust in your own intentions, and have trust in the process, in the universe. Your success is just about to come. If you're walking the path, there may be a little bit of fog right now, but your success will soon be there. I repeat, grit stands for giving, resilience, intention, and trust. If you can master these four things, you're sure to be successful. This is basically the recipe to be successful in life. I really want to hear your questions now. I want to hear how you feel about this. Do you feel motivated? Do you feel you've picked up something new today? Do you feel you want to now embark on this journey of being more successful? Tell me. Please share your questions with me.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing with us your views about grit. Hello.
Hi, Vishali.
Yes, thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing your views about grit.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
It was quite clear, which you gave the examples. So examples, it was quite clear to understand.
That's great. That's great.
Yes. There are one or two questions from our end, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes. Why is it so much important for growth mindset?
Why grit is important for growth mindset? That's a lovely question, Vishali. You can have a growth mindset. You can plan to achieve very high things in life. But in order to actually achieve them, you will find yourself crossing a path which will have a lot of difficulties. There may be so many hurdles and barriers that you might have to cross in order to reach that level of growth. And what will help you in crossing those barriers? That is grit. And what is grit? I'll repeat again. Grit is the courage and determination that one possesses despite being in a difficult situation. Difficulties will definitely come in the way. There will be hurdles and there will be barriers. But as someone who wants to be successful in life, you have to cross those hurdles. You have to jump over them. You have to overcome those failures and those difficult situations.
Yes. You also talked about the third letter from grit, that is intention, I think, right?
Yeah.
So, can you elaborate that letter, ma'am? The meaning of that letter?
So, in grit, I stands for intention. And what is intention? As a person who wants to be successful, who has some goals in life, your intention means what you want to do. What is the goal that you want to achieve? Why is it that you want to achieve it? And having pure intentions, meaning having pure thoughts. Your reason to achieve your goal is not to make someone else feel jealous. Your reason to achieve the goal is not to let someone else feel down or let someone else feel a complex, but your actual reason to achieve your goal is to be more successful in life. So, if your intentions are pure, then the universe will work for you. and you will be able to realize your goals.
Sometimes it happens that students do not get success, and due to failure, they get upset and does not want to do nothing. Okay, so what's the right solution or advice from your side for that situation?
If you have just recently failed at doing something, and right now you're feeling upset as to, I put in so much of hard work, but it still did not work out. You can be happy about one thing. That one thing is that out of those 1,000 ways in which you could fail to achieve something, you found one. Now you know at least one thing that you should not do in order to be more successful. So, you're more experienced if you fail. Every time you fail, you gain more experience. Every time you fail, you gain another opportunity to get up and be more confident. So, failure is great. There is no success without failure. There cannot be success without failure. You have to fail, you have to fall so many times, even before you start walking as a child. Same is the story of life.
Yes, that's true. So failure is the step to success, right?
Absolutely.
Yes, but sometimes it happens that students then change their path and move to different path. So we explain them, don't move to different path or don't think of different paths. You move in the same path, right? Sometimes if it is fruitful, then
There are people who feel ये नहीं चला चलो ये कर लेते हैं.
हाँ, yes,
वो नहीं चला अच्छा कुछ और कर लेते हैं.
लेते हैं, yes.
These are people who lack the letter R, the alphabet R in grit. And what is R? R is resilience. And resilience is made of purpose. If I want to become a cardiologist, my purpose is to treat more and more people's hearts, to make sure that more and more people's hearts are healthier. If that is my real purpose in life, I would not suddenly leave MBBS if I don't get admission and start doing CA. No. If my purpose is strong enough, I will stick. I will stick to the process. And then if I stick to the process, like I said, if you're able to finish the process, you're half done. So, think of being more consistent. Make finishing a habit. Make it a habit. Even if you're doing small things at home, finish them. The more unfinished matter you have in the brain, the more preoccupied you will be, the more busy you will feel, but the less productive you will be actually. So, if you want to be more productive, less busy, start finishing what you've picked up. Even if it is about, say, I'm going to go for a run every day, I'm going to go for a walk every day, do it every day. Don't mistrust yourself, because at night you think, okay, I'll go for a walk tomorrow, but you get up late. How will you trust yourself? I tell myself I'm going to walk every day, but in the morning I'm sleeping. So my subconscious mind thinks that I'm not somebody who one can trust. I'm not somebody who's reliable. I won't get up for my own goals. So who else will I help in life? So make your own mind trust yourself. You'll become more stronger, more powerful as a person.
Yes, that's true, ma'am. We should believe in ourselves first, then only whether it is failure or success, but you should have trust in yourself first. That is the main thing. And be positive in each and every part of life. Yes.
Absolutely, Vaishali.
Yes. So I think we should end the session here, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining with us today and giving us your valuable time. It was very nice listening to you, and sure this session would help our students as well as faculty during this their lifespan. Thank you so much, ma'am. And also, I would like to thank Mr. Hemal Patel, sir, the HOD of our department, Dr. Jatin Vaidya sir, the HR of our institute, and Dr. Devanshu Patel sir, the president of a university, to motivate and support us continuously for conducting such webinars. Yes. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Vishali.
Yes,
Thanks
thank
a
you.
lot. Thank you. Thank
Bye.
you. Bye. Bye.